Hello Master Pawhui, I was reading some of your information, and have tried to meditate at home, but I'm finding some difficulty with it. What should I do, if my mind wanders during practice?
It is not a question of if your mind wanders. Your mind will wander. You can count on it. After 10 years of practice, your mind will still wander, but it will not wander so much that you lose sight of the truth. Thoughts will always appear in your mind, but the object of practice is not to stop thoughts from appearing. The object is to discover the truth and become free from the illusions created by thought. Practice helps us to discover who we are.
Okay, thanks for that, as it will help, but I'm also wondering how often and how long should I practice?
There is no simple answer to this question. You must be true to yourself and trust yourself totally. No one can tell you how much you should practice, because how much you practice will hinge upon many factors. Monks, nuns, sannyasins, and other people who have devoted their lives to a religious calling obviously have far more free time to practice than householders who have family and work responsibilities. People who burn to know the truth may choose to practice unceasingly to arrive at the truth as fast as possible. Other people may take a much more relaxed approach. I recommend that beginners should practice no more than 30 minutes each day, and would most likely have a beginner start with a reasonable length of time that they can do over time. Zen Buddhist lay practitioners may practice an hour each day, and then go on periodic weekend or week-long retreats. Some Tibetan Buddhists go on 3-year silent retreats, and practice continually during that time. It all depends upon your own circumstances and aspirations.
Wow, that is a relief, as I wasn't sure how I could fit this into my schedule. Should it be totally quiet during practice?
Not at all. Although it might not be easy for a beginner to practice, if a street repair crew is jackhammering outside his or her window, even the sound of a jackhammer can be used as a point of focus. With sufficient practice, you will simply not be bothered by extraneous noises and find that you have a greater control of your wandering mind. For example, if you are doing a breath-counting exercise with great intensity, you will probably not be disturbed by a nearby jackhammer.
Some of my friends say that people just get wiser with age, and that our efforts to force wisdom is a waste of time. If I do not practice, is there any chance that I might wake up or become unified with the universe spontaneously?
There have been a few people who have apparently awakened without any kind of formal practice. Ramana Maharshi is one of the best examples of someone who realized himself in this way. Much more common are people who have had momentary experiences of unity or insight. Dr. R. M. Bach, a Canadian physician, had a very deep experience in London in 1899 and subsequently wrote a book, Cosmic Consciousness, based upon his experience. However, Dr. Bach apparently never had any subsequent experiences, and it is doubtful whether he ever fully integrated his one major experience into his everyday life. He undoubtedly learned something important from his one experience, but he probably never progressed beyond his initial level of understanding. In general, it is safe to say that, if we do not practice, it is unlikely that we will wake up or realize our inherent unity with the cosmos.
Do I have to remain only true to Buddhist practices, or should I remain a member of my present church?
Be true to yourself. There are no objective rules concerning what you must do. Non-conceptual awareness practice is pursued in every religious tradition. In some traditions, such as Zen Buddhism, it is the total focus of the tradition. In other traditions, such as Catholicism, it is pursued primarily by a small number of mystics, and not by regular members. You will have to discover for yourself with which religious tradition you most strongly resonate. First, pursue the practice. Then, see what happens.
Okay, thanks. So how long does it take to wake up? I mean, how long do I have to be doing this stuff?
That is impossible to say. However, if we are practicing in order to acquire some special state of mind, such as Christ consciousness, then we are unlikely to get what we want. Christ consciousness only occurs because of non-grasping moment-to-moment awareness. At first, it is difficult to understand, but the practice must ultimately be pursued with no thought of self-gain. We already have everything we could possibly want, but we do not believe it. We already own the entire universe, but we do not know it. The kingdom of God is right here, but we do not see it. The practice of non-conceptual awareness gradually causes the blinders to drop from our eyes and we see what has been here all along. If we finally attain Christ consciousness or Buddha nature, we discover that we hid it and did not know it. When we finally attain it, we discover that our past idea of progress toward a goal was an illusion.
I know at my church the pastor often lectures on grace. Does grace have a role to play in waking up?
Definitely. Without grace, waking up will not occur. The universe is a mystery of unfathomable proportions that is completely unpredictable. A person like Ramana Maharshi woke up without pursuing any kind of formal practice. Another person may practice for 40 years and not wake up. This is reality, it is who we are. However, almost anyone who practices will learn more about the nature of human existence than one who does not.
I have a husband, 2 children, and various responsibilities. How can I find sufficient time to practice?
A few weeks ago, a researcher reported that the average American watches over 5 hours of TV each day. Unless you are working 2 or more jobs, you can probably find plenty of time for practice without ignoring your family. However, you will have to make meditation a strong priority, and you will have to put forward more effort than someone does without a family and other responsibilities. You might want to read Eknath Easwaran's book, Slowing Down, a book about how householders can develop a strong spiritual practice.
I know you already answered this, but what should we do if we are living a very busy life and can't find the time to practice the traditional 1 to 2.5 hours per day that many meditation groups recommend?
This is a common question from Sangha members who live active lives as lay practitioners of Zen Buddhism. We all struggle to make Zen practice an integral part of our daily activities. For many of us, finding the time to do a complete formal meditation practice each day can be difficult. We say, "I'd like to practice, but I can't find the time," and then we become consumed with our busy lives. Therefore, even if you have severe time constraints in your life right now, you can surely set aside 15 minutes every day for formal Zen practice. Whether we practice for 2.5 hours or 15 minutes every day, there are 5 components to Zen practice as I teach it. It is important to keep each one of these elements alive in our daily practice. These components are the 4 great vows, which are ancient vows, to confirm our direction to help all beings, bowing practice, which helps us to balance the scales of our accumulated karma every day, chanting practice focuses our energy and opens the compassion in our hearts, sitting practice that calms the mind and develops our focus and a strong center of being, or samadhi, and finally reading Zen teachings, such as those found in the book Dropping Ashes on the Buddha, which sharpens our cognition, so that our Dharma wisdom and compassion might appear.
Thank you so much, Master Pawhui, for taking the time to answer my questions so thoughtfully.
You are very welcome. So now it is up to you to put forth the effort and to continually try each day as your life unfolds to discover your own inherent Buddha nature.